Getting Skreeched In to please step forward. Look at him. You're not going anywhere. You're being Skreeched In. No, you are. Yeah, you already ran. Your name's already on the certificate. So can I see your hands of those of you who are getting Skreeched In? So we know where you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm glad you know that. Those of you who are in the back of the room, I need you to be quiet or go for a smoke. If you don't smoke, start smoking. Thank you. Before I start, I must tell you. Sorry. Before I start, I must say I like to have silence. If I see you talking, I'll tell you to keep your tongue still. If I have to ask you more than once, I will ask you to leave. Now we got that straight. I am not the son of a fisherman or a lighthouse keeper. I don't eat fish 3 times a day, and I don't drink Skreech. At least not before noon on weekdays. I'm not the boy that built a boat, and I'm not the boy that sailor, but I got a boat with a fine forecutty, and it's got high top sails, and I painted it green, and it's the prettiest boat you've ever seen. I had a premier once, and his name was Brian Tobin. Don't laugh, his son did get parole. But he went to war with Spain over something called a turbot. I'm not quite sure what a turbot is, actually. But I'll be damned if somebody from Spain is going to come and take it away from me. I believe in kitchen parties, not raves. I believe in iceberg beer, not Alexander Keith's. And at the puffin is a true proud and noble bird. Now a scuff is a dance and a black horse is a beer. A good Newfoundland beer. And it's pronounced Newfoundland, not Newfoundland or Newfoundland. Newfoundland is the oldest settlement in North America, the youngest province of Confederation, and the only rock you can party on. My name is Skipper Lukey, and I is a Newfoundlander.
Amen, brother!
95% of the original settlement in Newfoundland came from 2 provinces of Ireland and 3 shires of England. We've managed to adopt a lot of their culture, history, traits, and a lot of their linguistics. But we actually managed to come up with our own language here, and we call it Newfoundlandese. It's not Chinese, it's not Japanese, it's Newfoundlandese. Now the first 3 words I'm going to introduce you tonight is what we call prog, puddock, and glutch. Prog's Newfoundland word for food. It's for your puddock, your stomach, and you're going to glutch it back. Means you're going to eat it. This evening your prog is what we call Newfoundland steak. Good old maple leaf bologna. Yeah. The big stick. Now, the reason why we call this Newfoundland steak is because years upon years ago, the kid that would have this on his sandwich would be considered the rich kid in the community. The royal one. The kid that would have lobster on his sandwich would be considered the poor kid. And that kid was so poor that if he didn't wake up on Christmas morning with a hard on, he'd have nothing to play with. That's not funny. Now, I need everybody to take a small piece of Newfoundland steak, and don't worry about it if you're vegetarian, there's not real much meat in it anyway. She's smelling it. Look. Oh, yeah. Come on, boy. It's like a hot dog.
You have to eat it now.
Go ahead.
There's not much meat in it anyway, right? You have to eat it now.
Go ahead and eat it. Yes, we're not going to say grace. This is it's kind of like a communion. As soon as you get it, eat it.
Oh, wonderful.
Watch your back.
Eat it. One-eyed monster.
Excellent. So this is good old prog.
That's rude.
Like a hot dog.
Watching it back.
I need a drink.
Yes, there we go. Everybody got a piece that's getting Skreeched In?
All right, that's all I ever.
Can I get a beer?
Not yet. All right. So now that you've had prog for your puttock, I got to tell you a small little story. It's about a man named John Cabot. Because in 1497 he arrived on a boat called the Matthew to a place called Bonavista. And he saw lots of swirls down in the water. And when he dropped his bucket down and pulled it up, it was filled to the top with codfish. Well, word got out fast how plentiful the fish were on our island that they actually moved here. They settled here. They caught the fish. They salted the fish and traded the fish all around the world. And one place in particular was Jamaica. Because in Jamaica they made rum. We loves our rum here. We loves it. It would get us through our winter. We loved it so much that we would actually get down on our knucks and we would kiss that fish, knowing that it was going to come back to us in the way of rum. So in keeping with that time,
yeah, baby.
I got a little buddy for you. The most loved fish in Newfoundland and Labrador. So I need you to pucker up and just give you a little kiss. That's rank. It's a dead fish boy. And 5.
Kiss it, Ian.
Over here. Kiss the fish.
6.
Over here, over here. Over here.
Would I finish? Okay, 6.
Sorry.
I don't know where that is.
7. Come on, Ian.
Kiss it, Liz. Way to go. Kiss it, Ian.
Oh, I missed it. They're involved.
Oh, I didn't need tongue.
No tongue, you fish. Just kissing. That was 2 kisses.
Did everybody get that done? Did I miss anyone? No. Perfect. Now, like I was saying, we used to trade our fish with the Jamaicans for their rum, and it was a strong barrel rum. In fact, it was considered a test of a man.
Yeah.
He could drink it without screaming, passing out, or having a heart attack. He was considered a true man. In fact, Skreeched got his name down from the south coast of the province. For one night we were serving up for hospitality to a U.S. captain. And he drank the shot, and he yelled a great big yell. And the sergeant came on running into the room, and he said, "Who yelled out that god-awful screech?" And there was a Newfoundlander sitting at the bar that said, "Screech, boy, 'tis the rum, me son." That's how Skreeched got his name.
Yeah,
so I never got you to sign any waiver forms, so don't get any on your skin. And we can't have a drink without having a toast. So let's wait till everybody gets one, okay? So I can do a toast with you all. All right? You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's one for everyone. Don't drink it yet. It's not like the Bologna. I want everybody to have their shot so I can lead you in a toast.
My eyes bleed.
Who else didn't get one? Okay. Perfect. And there's still, yeah. We still have some more. Oh, there's no extras for the newfies. Where else? Who else didn't get one? Everybody got one that needs one?
I'll take it.
Yes, my love, you can have one. I'll wait until you're silent before I do my
Silence. Go on, quiet.
Here's the health and your company, and one for the lasses. Let's drink and be merry all out of our glasses. Let's drink and be merry, bad thoughts to refrain, for we may or may not ever all be here again. Up to the lips, over the gums. Look out, go it. Here she comes.
Yes. Drop her down.
Now, don't congratulate yourselves yet. You're past the trees when you're not out of your woods yet. Let that digest for a second. Have a sip of your drink, because you're going to need your lips now. Before I let you go, I have to teach you a small phrase. The phrase that I'm going to teach you is a phrase you're going to take home with you. So when someone asks you, when you went to Newfoundland, did you get screeched in? And they ask you, is he a screecher? You know what to say. There's only one proper response, and that is, "Deed I is me old cock, and long may your big jib grow."
Did I use my one?
Say that again?
I tell you more, they'll slow it down. Those are not talking too fast.
Did you use your big cock?
A little bit too slow. So up along with the rest of Canada, you might say indeed I am, but in Newfoundland we just say deed I is. So I need everybody to say deed I is at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is.
Next part of the phrase is me old cock. You see, cock is a shortened form of the word cockney, which comes over from old. You can't listen if you're speaking. Cock is a shortened form of the word cockney, which comes over from Old England, meaning my good friend or my good buddy. So what you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend, but you're going to say, deed I is me old cock at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is my old cock.
Okay, it's not my old cock, it's me old cock.
Oh.
And it's not indeed I is, it's just deed I is. Let's try that again. Deed I is me old cock at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Deed I is me old cock.
Some of you are still saying my and it's not right. The last part of the phrase is, and long may your big jib dry. You see, the jib is the foresail on the schooner, so as long as it's drawing when you're doing good, it's a wish for good luck. So what you're saying is, yes, I am my good friend, I wish you good luck, but you're going to say, deed I is me old cock, and long may your big jib dry. Got it? Good. I'm going to say it, and you're going to say it, and we'll get through together. Conviction in unison, very important. Say, deed I is.
Deed I is.
Me old cock.
Me old cock.
And long may your big jib draw.
And me your long jib draw.
I'll give it to you. Certificates. I do have certificates for you, but before I hand them out, I have one final rant that I'd like to share with you. Newfoundland was the first province to respond to the Titanic distress signal. Newfoundland was the first place to discover proof of the theory of the continental drift. We were the first to host a transatlantic flight, and we were the first to have wireless communication in the entire world. We are the oldest rock in the world, and this is the oldest city in North America. Water Street is the oldest street in North America, and the Royal St. John's Regatta, which happens on the first Wednesday of August every year, is the oldest continuous sporting event in North America. We are considered the most generous people in all of the entire country. We are considered the funniest people in all of the entire country. We are considered the sexiest people in all of the entire country. According to the Blades magazine, we are the most sexually active people in all of the A Newfoundlander. I got the hat you were in the top. A Newfoundlander invented the world's first artificial ice arena. A Newfoundlander invented the gas mask. A Newfoundlander was once a governor of northern Rhodesia, and there was a Newfoundlander with Abraham Lincoln at Gettysburg. We are the only place in the world to have 4 identifiable flags. We have our own encyclopedia, we have our own dictionary, we have our own pony, we have our own dog, and we have our own cultural publication, the good old Newfoundland Herald. Welcome to Newfoundland.
And you're all
Come together,